Chapter 15, Jean Seberg, Sunday, 15th July 2001. Belleville, Paris. He was due to arrive on 15th July on the 15:55 from Waterloo. Emma Morley got to the arrival gate at the Gare du Nord in good time and joined the crowd, the anxious lovers clutching flowers, the bored chauffeurs, sweaty in suits with their handwritten signs. Might it be funny to hold up a sign with Dexter's name on? She wondered. Perhaps with his name spelt incorrectly? It might make him laugh, she supposed, but was it worth the effort? Besides, the train was pulling in now, the waiting crowd edging towards the gate in anticipation. A long hiatus before the doors hissed open. Then the passengers spilled out onto the platform, and Emma pressed forward with the friends and families, lovers and chauffeurs, all craning to see the arriving faces. She set her own face into the appropriate smile. The last time she saw him, things had been said. The last time she saw him, something had happened. Dexter sat in his seat in the very last carriage of the stationary train and waited for the other passengers to leave. He had no suitcase, just a small overnight bag on the seat next to him. On the table in front of him lay a brightly colored paperback, on the cover a scratchy cartoon of a girl's face, beneath the title Big Julie Criscoll versus the Whole Wide World. He had finished the book just as the train entered the Paris suburbs. It was the first novel he had finished in some months. His sense of mental prowess mitigated by the fact that the book was aimed at 11 to 14-year-olds and contained pictures. Waiting for the carriage to clear, he turned once more to the inside of the back cover and the black and white photograph of the author and looked at it intently, as if committing her face to memory. In an expensive-looking crisp white shirt, she sat a little awkwardly on the edge of a bent wood chair, her hand covering her mouth at just the moment that she burst into laughter. He recognized the expression and the gesture, too, smiled, and placed the book in his bag, picked it up, and joined the last few passengers as they waited to step down onto the platform. The last time he had seen her, things had been said. Something had happened. What would he tell her? What would she say? Yes or no? While she waited, she played with her hair, willing it to grow longer. Shortly after arriving in Paris, dictionary in hand, she had plucked up the courage to go to a hairdresser. Un coiffeur to have her hair cropped. Though embarrassed to say it out loud, she had wanted to look like Jean Seberg in About de Soufflé, because after all, if you're going to be a novelist in Paris, you might as well do it properly. Now, 3 weeks later, she no longer wanted to cry when she saw her reflection, but even so, her hands kept going to her head, as if adjusting a wig. With a conscious effort, she turned her attention to the buttons on her brand-new dove gray shirt, bought that morning from a boutique, on Rue de Grenelle. 2 buttons undone looked too prim. 3 undone showed cleavage. She unfastened the 3rd button, clicked her tongue, and turned her attention back to the passengers. The crowd was thinning out now, and she was starting to wonder if he had missed the train when she finally saw him. He looked broken, gaunt and tired. His face was shaded with scrappy stubble that didn't suit him, a prison beard, and she was reminded of the potential for disaster that this visit carried with it. But when he saw her, he started to smile and quicken his pace, and she smiled too, then started to feel self-conscious as she waited at the gate, wondering what to do with her hands, her eyes. The distance between them seemed immense. Smile and stare for 50 meters. 45 meters. She looked at the floor, up into the rafters. 40 meters. She looked back at Dexter, back at the floor. 35 meters. While covering this vast distance, he was surprised to notice how much she had changed in the 8 weeks since he had last seen her. The 2 months since everything had happened. Her hair had been cut very short, a fringe brushed across her forehead, and she had more color in her face, the summer face that he remembered. Better dressed, too. High shoes, a smart dark skirt, a pale gray shirt unbuttoned a touch too far, showing brown skin, and a triangle of dark freckles below her neck. She still didn't seem to know what to do with her hands or where to look, and he was starting to feel self-conscious, too. 10 meters. What would he say? And how would he say it? Was it a yes or no? He quickened his pace towards her, and then finally they were embracing. You didn't have to meet me. Of course I had to meet you, tourist. I like this. He brushed his thumb across her short fringe. There's a word for it, isn't there? Butch? Gammon? You look gammon. Not butch? Not in the least. You should have seen it 2 weeks ago. I looked like a collaborator. His face didn't move. I went to a Parisian hairdresser for the first time. Terrifying. I sat in the chair thinking, I can't speak French. Thinking something. The funny thing is, even in Paris, they ask you about your holidays. You think they're going to talk about the contemporary dance, or can men ever truly be free? But it's... Qu'avez-vous debout pour la... Something. Still. Oh no. I'm not doing that again. Okay. Still. His face was fixed. Ugh. Still, his face was fixed. She was talking too much, trying too hard. Calm down, don't riff. His hand touched the short hair at the back of her neck. Well, I think it suits you. Not sure I've got the features for it. Really, you've got the features for it. He held her at the top of her arms, taking her all in. It's like there's a fancy dress party you've come as sophisticated Parisian. Or a call girl. But a high-class call girl. Well, even better. She touched his chin with her knuckle, the stubble there. So, what have you come as, then? I've come as fucked-up suicidal divorcee. The remark was glib, and he regretted it immediately. Barely off the platform, and he was spoiling things. Well, at least you're not bitter, she said, reaching for the nearest off-the-shelf remark. Do you want me to get back on the train? Not just yet. She took him by the hand. Come on, let's go, shall we? They stepped outside the Gare du Nord, into the stifling, fume-filled air. A typical Parisian summer night, muggy with thick gray clouds threatening rain. I thought we'd go for a coffee first, near the canal. It's a 15-minute walk. Is that all right? Then another 15 minutes to my flat. I have to warn you, though, it's nothing special. In case you're imagining parquet floors and big windows with fluttering curtains or something. It's just 2 rooms over a courtyard. A garret. Exactly, a garret. A writer's garret. In anticipation of this journey, Emma had memorized a scenic walk, or as scenic as possible in the dust and traffic of the Northeast. I'm moving to Paris for the summer, to write. Back in April, the idea had seemed almost embarrassingly precious and fey, but she was so bored with married couples telling her that she should go to Paris at any time, that she had decided actually to do it. London had turned into one enormous cricket? I'm sorry, pause. I never pause. I'm so ready to be done with this book. I really like it. I really like the book, but there's so many words that I don't know. And I am literate, okay? I'm good at reading. It's just this book. Okay, I'm sorry. And now I'm like getting red. Okay. This book like pushes me out of my comfort zone with reading. Okay. What? Whatever that means. Okay. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. God, I'm sorry. I just had to pause just to say that because it's like actually pissing me off, this chapter. Okay. I really like it though. Just so you know. But we're like that close. We're so close. Okay. And I know what I'm reading next, and I'm more excited for it. So. Alright, here we go. Sorry. I don't even know where I was. Okay. So why not get away from other people's children for a while and have an adventure? The city of Sartre and de Beauvoir, Beckett and Proust, and here she was too, writing teenage fiction, albeit with considerable commercial success. The only way she could make the idea seem less hokey was to settle as far away as she could from tourist Paris, in the working-class 19th arrondissement on the border of Belleville and Menilmontant. tent. No tourist attractions, few landmarks. But it's really lively and cheap and multicultural and, God, I was about to say it's very real. Meaning what, violent? No, just, I don't know, real Paris. I sound like a student, don't I? 35 years old, living in a little 2-room flat like I'm a gap year. Like I'm on a gap year. I think Paris suits you. It does. You look fantastic. Do I? You've changed. I haven't, not really. No, really, you look beautiful. Emma frowned and kept her eyes ahead, and they walked a little further, trotting down stone steps to the Canal Saint Martin and a little bar by the water's edge. Looks like Amsterdam, he said blandly, pulling out a chair. Actually, it's the old industrial link to the Seine. Good God, I sound like some tour guide. Flowers under the Place de la République, under the Bastille, then out into the river. Just calm down, he's an old friend, remember? Just an old friend. They sat for a moment and stared at the water, and she immediately regretted the self-consciously scenic choice of venue. This was terrible, like a blind date. She fumbled for something to say. So, shall we have wine, or... Better not, I'm sort of off it. Oh, really? For how long? A month or so. It's not an AA thing, just trying to avoid it. He shrugged. Nothing good ever came of it, that's all. Not a big deal. Oh, okay, coffee then? Just a coffee. The waitress arrived, dark, pretty, and long-legged, but Dexter didn't even look up. There must be something seriously wrong, Emma thought, if he's not even ogling the waitress. She ordered an ostentatiously... Whatever. Then smiled awkwardly at Dexter's raised eyebrow. I've been taking lessons, so I hear. Of course she didn't understand a word. She'll probably bring us out a roast chicken. Nothing. Instead, he sat grinding grains of sugar against the metal table with his thumbnail. She tried again, something innocuous. When were you last in Paris? About 3 years ago. My wife and I came here on one of our famous mini breaks. 4 nights in the George Sink. He flicked a sugar cube into the canal. So that was a waste of fucking money. Emma opened her mouth and closed it again. There was nothing to say. She had already made her at least you're not bitter remark. But Dexter blinked hard, shook his head, then nudged her hand with his. So what I thought we'd do for the next couple of days is, show me the sights, and I'll just mope about and make stupid remarks. She smiled and nudged his hand back. It's hardly surprising what you've been through, are going through, and she covered his hand with her own. After a moment he covered her hand with his. She followed, covering his with hers, faster and faster, a children's game. But it was a piece of actor's business, too, strained and self-conscious, and in her embarrassment she decided to pretend to need the bathroom. In the small, stale room, she glowered in the mirror and tugged at her fringe, as if trying to pull more from her head. She sighed and told herself to calm down. The thing that happened, the event, it was just a one-off, not a big deal. He's just an old friend. She flushed the toilet for veracity's sake and stepped back into the warm gray afternoon. On the table in front of Dexter was a copy of her novel. Warily, she sat back down and poked it with her finger. Where did this come from, then? I bought it at the train station. Great piles of it there were. It's everywhere, Em. Have you read it yet? Can't get past page 3. Not funny, Dex. Emma, I thought it was wonderful. Well, it's just a silly kid's book. Not really. I'm so proud of you. I mean, I'm not a teenage girl or anything, but it really made me laugh. I read it straight through in one go, and I speak as someone who's been reading Howard's Way for the last 15 years. You mean Howard's End. Howard's Way is something different. Whatever. I've never read anything straight through before. Well, the type is pretty large, and that was my favorite thing about it, really, the big type. And the pictures. The illustrations are really funny, Em. I had no idea. Well, thank you. Plus the fact that it's exciting and funny, and I'm so proud of you, Em. In fact, he pulled a pen from his pocket. I want you to sign it. Don't be ridiculous. No, you've got to. He read the back of the book. The most exciting children's author since Roald Dahl. Oh, wow, that's really cool. Says the publisher's 9-year-old niece. He poked her with the pen. I'm still not signing it, Dex. Go on, I insist. He stood, pretending to need the toilet. I'm going to leave it there, and you've got to write something personal, with today's date, in case you get really famous and I need the cash. In the small, rank cubicle, Dexter stood and wondered how long he could keep this up. At some point, they would need to talk, insane to tiptoe around the subject like this. He flushed the toilet for effect, washed his hands, and dried them on his hair, then stepped back out onto the pavement where Emma was just closing the book. He went to read the dedication, but she placed her hand on the cover. When I'm not around, please. He sat down and placed it in his bag, and she leaned across the table as if returning to business. So, I've got to ask, how are things? Oh, fantastic. The divorce goes through in September, just before our anniversary. Almost 2 whole years of wedded bliss. Have you spoken to her much? Not if I can help it. We've stopped screaming abuse and throwing things. Now it's just yes, no, hello, goodbye. Which is more or less all we said when we were married anyway. Did you hear they've moved in with Callum now? Into his ridiculous mansion in Muswell Hill, where we used to go to dinner parties. Yes, I heard. He looked at her sharply. Who from, Callum? Of course not, just, people. People feeling sorry for me? Not sorry, just concerned. He wrinkled his nose in distaste. It's not a bad thing, Dex, people caring about you. Have you spoken to Callum? No, he's tried. Keeps leaving messages like nothing's happened. All right, mate, give us a call. He thinks we should go out for a beer and talk things through. Maybe I should go. Technically, he still owes me 3 weeks' wages. Are you working yet? Not as such. We're renting out that bloody house in Richmond and the flat, so I'm living off that. He drank the dregs of his coffee and stared into the canal. I don't know, Em. 18 months ago, I had a family, a career. Not much of a career, but I had opportunities. I still got offers. People carrier. Nice little house in Surrey. Which you hated. I didn't hate it. You hated the people carrier. Well, yes, I did hate that, but it was mine. And now all of a sudden I'm living in a bedsit in Kilburn with my half of the wedding list, and I have nothing. Just me and a shitload of Le Croissettes. My life is effectively over. You know what I think you should do? What? Maybe... She took a deep breath and held the fingers of his hand. Maybe you should beg Callum for your job back. He glared and jerked his hand away. Joking! I'm joking, she said and started to laugh. Well, I'm glad you find the carnage of my marriage funny, Em. I don't find it funny. I just think self-pity is probably not the answer. It's not self-pity, it's the facts. My life is effectively over? I just mean, I don't know, just... He looked into the canal and gave a theatrical sigh. When I was younger, everything seemed possible. Now nothing does. Emma, for whom the opposite was now true, simply said, it's not as bad as all that. So there's the bright side, is there? To your wife running off with your best mate. And he wasn't your best mate. You hadn't spoken in years. That's just... I'm just saying... Okay, well, for a start, it's not a bedsit in Kilburn. It's a perfectly good 2-bedroom flat in West Hampstead. I'd have killed to have a flat like that, and you're only there until you get your old flat back. But I'm 37 in 2 weeks. I'm practically middle-aged. 37 is still mid-30s. Just about. And no, you don't have a job at this exact moment, but you're not exactly living on benefits. You've an income from rent, which is unbelievably lucky if you ask me. And lots of people change track late in life. And lots of people change track late in life. It's fine to be miserable for a while, but you weren't that happy when you were married, Dex. I know, I had to listen to it all the time. We never talk, we never have fun, we never go out. I know it's tough, but at some point you might be able to think of this as a new start. A new beginning. There are loads of things you could do. You just have to make a decision. Like what? I don't know, the media? You could try for some presenting jobs again. Dexter groaned. Okay, something behind the scenes? Producer or director or something? Dexter winced. Or photography. You used to talk about photography all the time. Or food. You could, I don't know, do something with food. And if none of that works, you've always got that low 2-2 in anthropology to fall back on. She patted the back of his hand for emphasis. People always need anthropologists. He smiled, then remembered he shouldn't be smiling. You're a healthy, capable, financially stable, moderately attractive father in your mid to late 30s. You're all right, Dex. You just need to get your confidence back, that's all. He sighed and looked out at the canal. So, was that your pep talk then? That was it. What did you think? I still want to jump in the canal. Maybe we should move on then. I have biggest itch. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. This isn't... I'm out of sorts. This isn't normal for me. Okay. Hi. You know what? I'm just gonna catch up on the comments because I want to. I never do this. Okay, hello. No, you cannot. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, thanks. How old are you? I'm 20... Whoa. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm 27. What is up, sister? My name's Eddie. Eddie Elliott? No, no, but nice to meet you, Eddie. Oh, now you're a slave. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, we can get rid of that. We can just go ahead and that one, I guess. I've never blocked someone from my phone. My laptop doesn't work right now, so I have to stream from my phone. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, you can always see what book and what chapter I'm reading in the caption of the stream, by the way, if you ever wonder. Got a friend, just got on a flight to Istanbul. I lived in Istanbul! That's crazy! Teacher once told me only read what is written. I still don't know what that means. Yeah, I lived in Istanbul, Turkey for like 2 years. That's crazy. Have you ever noticed that we start reading the word and invent the rest? Sometimes it's not even what it is. Oh, you're saying like to avoid like stuttering over a word. The problem with this book is that they just throw in French words randomly. So I'm on a roll and then there's a French word and I get stuck because I have no idea how to pronounce it. And I'll try. Sometimes I try. And sometimes I just skip over it because I'm like, I'm not even going to attempt that. But I get what you're saying. With regular words, yeah, for sure. I used to stutter a lot more, and then I kind of slowed down and I actually like sound the word out more. So, at least I think I've improved. I feel like I have. Hope all is well. Waiting for your gaming streams. Patrick, I miss you so much. Thanks for saying that. I cannot wait to be able to game stream again. How do you say that? Play my games on stream with you guys again. I can't wait. But I can't. My laptop is still broken, so. But thanks for saying that. I really miss you. I miss hanging out with you guys. I'm really glad I remembered I can stream from my phone, so I can at the very least have these types of streams. Even if it's not my gaming, but I like jammed my finger earlier and I keep messing with it. Captain Planet, did you have a stroke? Are you okay? Did you have an aneurysm? Howdy. How are you? One up? Okay, cool. Nice to see you. We're all caught up. Let's get back into the book. I'm out of sorts today. Yeah. I just got back home from the beach, and I'm still kind of recovering from the lack of sleep. We did not sleep, so super sore. Oh, nice. Appreciate the company. Hell yeah. I appreciate y'all's company. I miss hanging out with you guys. All I can do is, like, record myself and then post it later, and that just isn't, that like kills all my motivation to get on YouTube. Like, live streaming is my thing. Okay, I love hanging out with you guys and talking with you guys, and like I just don't have motivation to like sit alone and record and then post it. Like, it's not, it takes all the fun out of it. You guys are the fun part. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I'm going to try to do more of these, but also we're trying to do more like Discord stuff. So if you're not in the Discord, you should join because I want to do more stuff just with those people. So, my friends. Okay. What am I doing? Maybe we should move on then. She laid money on the table. My flat's about 20 minutes away in that direction. We can walk or get a taxi. She went to stand, but Dexter didn't move. The worst of it is I really miss Jasmine. Emma sat again. I mean, it's sending me insane, and it's not even like I was a good dad or anything. Oh, come on. I wasn't, Em. I was useless. Completely. I resented it. I didn't want to be there. All the time we were pretending. We were this perfect family. I always thought, this is a mistake. This isn't for me. I used to think, wouldn't it be great to sleep again, to go away for the weekend, or just go out, stay up late, have fun, to be free, to have no responsibilities. And now I've got all of that back, and all I do is sit with my stuff still in cardboard boxes and miss my daughter. But you still see her. Once a fortnight. Once a fortnight? Why? I'm sorry. Okay. One lousy overnight stay. But you could see her more. You could ask for more time. And I would. But even now you can see the fear in her eyes when her mom drives off. Don't leave me here with this weird, sad freak. I buy her all these presents. It's pathetic. There's a great pile of them every time she arrives. It's like Christmas morning every time. Because if we're not opening presents, I don't know what to do with her. If we're not opening presents, she'll just start crying and asking for Mummy, but by which she means Mummy and that bastard Callum, and I don't even know what to buy her, because every time I see her, she's different. You turn your back for 1 week, 10 days, and everything's changed. I mean, she started walking, for Christ's sake, and I didn't see that happen. How can that be? How can I be missing that? I mean, isn't that my job? I haven't even done anything wrong, and all of a sudden, his voice quavered for a moment, and quickly he changed tone, grabbing onto anger. And meanwhile, of course, that fucker Callum's there with them in his big mansion in Muswell fucking Hill. But the momentum of his rage wasn't enough to prevent his voice cracking. Abruptly, he stopped speaking, pressed his hands either side of his nose, and opened his eyes wide as if trying to suppress a sneeze. "You okay?" she said, her hand on his knee. He nodded. "I'm not going to be like this all weekend, I promise." "I don't mind." "Well, I mind. It's demeaning." He stood abruptly and picked up his bag. "Please, Em, let's talk about something else. Tell me something. Tell me about you." They walked the length of the canal, skirting the edge of the Place de la République, then turning east along Rue du Faubourg Saint-Denis as she talked about her work. "The second one's a sequel. That's how imaginative I am. I'm about 3/4 of the way through. Julie Criscoll goes on this school trip to Paris and falls for this French boy in all sorts of adventures. Surprise, surprise. That's my excuse for being here. Research purposes. And the first one's doing well, so I'm told. Well enough for them to pay for 2 more. Really? 2 more sequels? Afraid so. Julie Criscoll is what they call a franchise. That's where the money's at, apparently. Got to have a franchise, and we're talking to TV people for a show. An animated kids show based on my illustrations." "You're kidding me." "I know, stupid, isn't it? I'm working in the media. I'm the associate producer." "What does that mean?" "Nothing at all. I mean, I don't mind. I love it, but I'd like to write a grown-up book one day. That's what I've always wanted to write. This great angry state of the nation novel. Something wild and timeless that reveals the human soul. Not a lot of silly stuff about snogging French boys at discos." "It's not just about that, though, is it?" "Maybe not, and maybe that's just what happens. You start out wanting to change the world through language and end up thinking it's enough to tell a few good jokes. God, listen to me. My life in art." He nudged her. "What?" "I'm pleased for you, that's all." His arm curled round her shoulders and squeezed. "An author, a proper author. You're finally doing what you've always wanted to do." They walked like this, a little self-consciously and awkwardly, the bag in the other hand banging against his leg, until the discomfort became too much and he took his arm away. They walked on, and gradually their mood lifted. The blanket of cloud had broken, and Faubourg Saint-Denis was taking on a new lease of life as the evening began. Scrappy, gaudy, and full of noise and life, parts of it almost souk-like. Emma kept stealing glances at Dexter, an anxious tour guide. They crossed the wide, bustling boulevard de Belleville and continued east along the border of the 19th and 20th. Climbing the hill, Emma pointed out the bars she liked, talked about the local history, Piaf and the Paris Commune of 1871, the local Chinese and North African communities, and Dexter half listened, half wondered what would happen when they finally arrived at her flat. "Listen, Emma, about what happened. It's sort of like that Hackney of Paris," she was saying. Dexter smiled that maddening smile. She nudged him. "What?" Only you would go to Paris to find the bit that's most like Hackney. It's interesting, I think so anyway." Eventually, they turned down a quiet side street and came to what looked like a garage door when Emma punched a code into a panel and pressed against the heavy gate with her shoulder. They entered into an enclosed courtyard, cluttered and run down, and overlooked by apartments on all sides. Washing hung from rusting balconies, shabby pot plants wilted in the evening sun. The courtyard echoed with the noise of competing TVs and children playing soccer with a tennis ball, and Dexter fought down a little shiver of irritation. Rehearsing this occasion, he had pictured a tree-shaded square, louved windows, a view of Notre Dame, perhaps. This was all fine enough, chic even in an urban, industrial way, but something more romantic would have made this all a little easier. Like I said, it's nothing grand. 5th floor, I'm afraid. She pressed the light switch, which was on a timer, and they began the steep ascent of the wrought iron stairs, tightly curled and seemingly shearing away from the wall in places. Emma was suddenly conscious of the fact that Dexter's eyes were exactly level with her backside, and she began nervously reaching back to her skirt to smooth down creases that weren't there. As they reached the landing of the 3rd floor, the timer of the light clicked off, and they found themselves in darkness for a moment. Emma fumbling behind her to find his hand, and leading him up the stairs until they stood outside a door. In the dim light from the transom, they smiled at each other. I'm not even going to attempt. From her bag, she produced an immense bunch of keys and began work on a complex sequence of locks. After some time, the door opened onto a small but pleasant flat with scuffed gray painted floorboards, a large baggy sofa, and a small neat desk overlooking the courtyard, its walls lined with austere-looking books in French, the spines a uniform pale yellow. Fresh roses and fruit stood on the table in a small adjoining kitchen, and through another door, Dexter could glimpse the bedroom. They had yet to discuss the sleeping arrangements, but he could see the apartment's only bed. A large cast-iron affair, quaint and cumbersome like something from a farmhouse. 1 bedroom, 1 bed. Evening sunlight shone through the windows, drawing attention to the fact of it. He glanced at the sofa to check that it didn't fold out into anything. Nope. 1 bed. He could feel the blood pumping in his chest, though perhaps this was just from the long climb. She closed the door, and there was a silence. So, here we are. It's great. It's okay. Kitchen's through here. The climb and nerves had made Emma thirsty, and she crossed to the fridge, opened it, and took out a bottle of sparkling water. She had begun to drink, taking great gulps, when suddenly Dexter's hand was on her shoulder. Then he was in front of her somehow and kissing her. Her mouth still full of the effervescing water, she pursed her lips tight to prevent it squirting into his face like a soda siphon? Leaning away, she pointed at her cheeks, absurdly ballooned like a pufferfish, flapped her hands, and made a noise that approximated to "hold on a moment." Chivalrously, Dexter stepped back to allow her to swallow. "Sorry about that." "It's okay, you took me by surprise, that's all." She wiped her mouth with the back of her hand. "Okay now?" "Fine, but Dexter, I have to tell you," and he was kissing her again, clumsily pressing too hard as she leaned backwards over the kitchen table, which suddenly jutted noisily across the floor, so that she had to twist away at the waist to stop the vase of roses falling. "Oops. The thing is, Dex, sorry about that, but the thing is, bit self-conscious. I've sort of met someone." He actually took a step backwards. "You've met someone?" "A man, a guy. I'm seeing this guy." "A guy, right. Okay. So, who?" "He's called Jean-Pierre. Jean-Pierre Dussolier. Oh, I think I actually said it right. Dussolier." "He's French?" "No, Dex, he's Welsh." "No, I'm just surprised, that's all." "Surprised he's French, or surprised that I should actually have a boyfriend?" "No, just that, well, it's pretty quick, isn't it? I mean, you've only been here a couple of weeks. Did you unpack first, or..." 2 months. I've been here 2 months, and I met Jean-Pierre a month ago." "And where did you meet him?" "In a little bistro near here." "A little bistro? Right. How?" "How? Did you meet him?" "Well, I was having dinner by myself, reading a book, and this guy was with some friends, and he asked me what I was reading." Dexter groaned and shook his head, a craftsman deriding another's handiwork. Emma ignored him and walked through to the living room. "And anyway, we got talking," Dexter followed. "What, in French?" "Yes, in French, and we hit it off, and now we're seeing each other." She flopped onto the sofa. "So, now you know." "Right, I see." His eyebrows rose, then lowered again, his features contorting as he explored ways to sulk and smile at the same time. "Well, good for you, Em. That's really great. Don't patronize me, Dexter, like I'm some lonely old lady." "I'm not. With feigned nonchalance, he turned to look out the window into the courtyard below. So what's he like then, this Jean-Pierre? He's nice, very handsome, very charming, an amazing cook. He knows all about food and wine and art and architecture. You know, just very, very French. What, you mean rude? No. Dirty? Dexter. Wears a string of onions, rides a bike. God, you can be unbearable sometimes. But what the hell is that supposed to mean, very French? I don't know, just very cool and laid back and sexy. I didn't say sexy. No, but you've gone all sexy, playing with your hair, your shirt unbuttoned. Such a stupid word, sexy. But you're having a lot of sex, right? Dexter, why are you being so... Look at you, you're glowing. You've got a little sweaty glow. There's no reason for you to be... Why are you, anyway? What? Being so mean. Like I've done something wrong. I'm not being mean, I just thought... He stopped and turned to look out the window, his forehead on the glass. I wish you'd told me before I came. I'd have booked a hotel. You can still stay here. I'll just sleep with Jean-Pierre tonight. Even with his back to her, she could tell that he had flinched. Sleep at Jean-Pierre's tonight. I'm sorry. Oh. She leant forward on the sofa, her face cupped in both hands. What did you think was going to happen, Dexter? I don't know, he mumbled at the window pane. Not this. Oh, I'm sorry. Why do you think I came to see you, Em? For a break, to get away from things. See the sights. I came to talk about what happened, you and me, finally getting together. He picked at the putty on the windows with his fingernail. I just thought it would have been a bigger deal for you, that's all. We've slept together once, Dexter. 3 times. I don't mean how many acts of intercourse, Dex. I mean the occasion, the night. We spent 1 night together. And I just thought it might have been something worth remarking on. Next thing I know, you've run off to Paris and thrown yourself under the nearest Frenchman. I didn't run off. The ticket was already booked. Why do you think that everything that happens because of you? And you couldn't phone me up maybe before you... What, to ask for your permission? No, to see how I felt about it. Hang on a minute. You're annoyed because we haven't examined our feelings. You're annoyed because you think I should have waited for you? I don't know, he mumbled. Maybe. My God, Dexter, are you actually jealous? Of course I'm not. So why are you sulking? I'm not sulking. Look at me then. He did so, petulant, his arms crossed, high on his chest, and Emma couldn't help but laugh. What? He asked, indignant. Well, you do realize there's a certain amount of irony in this, Dex. How is this ironic? You getting all conventional and monogamous all of a sudden. He said nothing for a moment, then turned back to the window. More conciliatory, she said, Look. We were both a little drunk. I wasn't that drunk. You took your trousers off over your shoes, Dex. Still, he wouldn't turn around. Don't stand over by the window. Come and sit here, will you? She lifted her bare feet up onto the sofa and curled her legs beneath her. He bumped the pane of glass with his forehead once, twice, then without meeting her eye, crossed the room and slumped next to her, a child sent home from school. She rested her feet against his thighs. All right, you want to talk about that night? Let's talk about it. He said nothing. She poked him with her toes, and when he finally looked at her, she spoke. Okay, I'll go first. She took a deep breath. I think that you were very upset and a little bit drunk, and you came to see me that night, and it just happened. I think with all the misery of breaking up with Sylvie and moving out and not seeing Jasmine, you were feeling a little lonely, and you just needed a shoulder to cry on or to sleep with, and that's what I was, a shoulder to sleep with. So that's what you think. That's what I think. And you only slept with me to make me feel better. Did you feel better? Yes, much better. Well, so did I, so there you go, it worked. But that's not the point. Well, there are worse reasons to sleep with someone, you should know. But pity sex? Not pity. Compassion. Don't tease me, Em. I'm not, it was nothing to do with pity, and you know it. It's complicated, us. Come here, will you? She nudged him once more with her foot, and after a moment he tipped over like a felled tree, his head coming to rest against her shoulder. She sighed. We've known each other a long time, Dex. I know, I just thought it might be a good idea. Dex and Em and Dex, the two of us. Just try it for a while, see how it worked. I had thought that's what you wanted too. It is. It was, back in the late 80s. So why not now? Because it's too late. We're too late. I'm too tired. You're 35. I just feel our time has passed, that's all, she said. How do you know unless we give it a try? Dexter, I have met someone else. They sat in silence for a moment, listening to the children shouting in the courtyard below, the sound of distant televisions. And you like him, this guy. I do, I really, really like him. He reached down and took her left foot in his hand, still dusty from the street. My timing isn't great, is it? No, not really. He examined the foot he held in his hand. The toenails were painted red, but chipped, the smallest nail gnarled and barely there. Your feet are disgusting. I know they are. Your little toes like this little nub of sweet corn. Stop playing with it then. So that night, he pressed his thumb against the hard skin of her sole. So it was really so terrible. She poked him sharply with the hip of her other foot. Don't fish, Dexter. No, really, tell me. No, Dexter, it was not such a terrible night. In fact, it was one of the more memorable nights of my life. But I still think we should leave it at that. She swung her legs off the sofa and sidled up until their hips were touching, taking his hand, her head on his shoulder now. Both stared forwards at the bookshelves until Emma finally sighed. Why didn't you say all this, I don't know, 8 years ago? Don't know, too busy trying to have fun, I suppose. She lifted her head to look at him sideways. And now you've stopped having fun and think, good old Em, give her a go. That's not what I meant. I'm not the consolation prize, Dex. I'm not something you resort to. I happen to think I'm worth more than that. And I think you're worth more than that, too. That's why I came here. You're a wonder, Em. After a moment, she stood abruptly, picked up a cushion, threw it sharply at his head, and walked towards the bedroom. Shut up, Dex. He reached for her hand as she passed, but she shook it free. Where are you going? To have a shower, get changed. Can't sit around here all night. She shouted from the other room, angrily, pulling clothes from the wardrobe and dropping them onto the bed. After all, he'll be here in 20 minutes. Who'll be here? Who do you think, my new boyfriend? Jean-Pierre is coming here? 8 o'clock. She started unbuttoning the tiny buttons on her shirt, then gave up, pulled it impatiently over her head, and whipped it at the floor. We're all going out for dinner, the three of us. He let his head fall backwards and let out a long, low groan. Oh, God, do we have to? I'm afraid so. It's all been arranged. She was naked now and furious at herself at the situation. We're taking you to the very restaurant where we first met, the famous bistro. We're going to sit there at the same table and hold hands and tell you all about it. It's all going to be very, very romantic. She slammed the bathroom door, shouting through it. And in no way awkward. Dexter heard the sound of the shower running and lay back on the sofa, looking at the ceiling, embarrassed now at this ridiculous expedition. He had thought that he had the answer, that they could rescue each other, when in truth Emma had been fine for years. If anyone needed rescuing, it was him. And maybe Emma was right. Maybe he was just feeling a little lonely. He heard the ancient plumbing gurgle as the shower ceased, and there it was again, that terrible, shameful word. Lonely. And the worst of it was that he knew it was true. Never in his life had he imagined that he would be lonely. For his 30th birthday, he had filled a whole nightclub off Regent Street. People had been queuing on the pavement to get in. The SIM card of his mobile phone in his pocket was overflowing with telephone numbers of all the hundreds of people he had met in the last 10 years, and yet the only person he had ever wanted to talk to in all that time was standing now in the very next room. Could this be true? He scrutinized the notion once again, and finding it to be accurate, he stood suddenly with the intention of telling her straight away. He walked towards the bedroom, then stopped. He could see her through the gap in the door. She was sitting at a small 1950s dressing table, her short hair still wet from the shower, wearing a knee-length, old-fashioned black silk dress, unzipped at the back to the base of her spine, opened wide enough to see the shade beneath her shoulder blades. She sat motionless and erect and rather elegant, as if waiting for someone to come and zip the dress up, and there was something so appealing about the idea, something so intimate and satisfying about that simple gesture, both familiar and new, that he almost stepped straight into the room. He would fasten the dress, then kiss the curve between her neck and her shoulder and tell her. Instead, he watched silently as she reached for a book on the dressing table, a large, well-thumbed French-English dictionary. She began to leaf through the pages, then stopped suddenly, her head slumping forwards, both hands spanning her brow and pushing her fringe back as she groaned angrily. Dexter laughed at her exasperation. Silently, he thought, but she glanced towards the door, and he quickly stepped backwards. The floorboards popped beneath his feet as he pranced absurdly towards the kitchen area, running both taps and moving cups around uselessly under running water as an alibi. After a while, he heard the ting of the old-fashioned phone being picked up in the bedroom, and he turned off the taps so that he might overhear the conversation with this Jean-Pierre. A low lover's murmur in French. He strained to listen, failing to understand a single word. The bell sounded once again as she hung up. Some time passed, then she was standing in the doorway behind him. "Who is that on the phone?" he asked over his shoulder, matter-of-factly. "Jean-Pierre." "And how is Jean-Pierre?" "He's fine, just fine." "Good, so I should get changed. What time is he coming round again?" "He isn't coming round." Dexter turned. "What?" "I told him not to come round." "Really, you did?" He wanted to laugh. "I told him I had tonsillitis." Wanted to laugh so much, but he mustn't. Not yet. He dried his hands. "What is that, tonsillitis? In French?" Her fingers went to her throat. "Je suis très désolée, mais mes glandes sont gonflées," she croaked feebly. "Je pense que je peux avoir l'amygdalite." L'amygdalite. You have amazing vocab. "Well, you know," she shrugged modestly. Had to look it up. They smiled at each other. Then, as if an idea had suddenly occurred to her, she quickly crossed the room in 3 long strides, took his face between her hands and kissed him. And he placed his hands upon her back, finding the dress still unfastened, the skin bare and cool and still damp from the shower. They kissed like this for some time. Then, still holding his face in her hands, she looked at him intently. "If you muck me about, Dexter, I won't. I mean it. If you lead me on, or let me down, or go behind my back, I will murder you. I swear to God I will eat your heart." "I won't do that, Em." "You won't?" "I swear I won't." And then she frowned and shook her head and then put her arms around him once more, pressing her face into his shoulder, making a noise that sounded almost like rage. "What's up?" he asked. "Nothing." "Oh, nothing, just..." She looked up at him. "I thought I'd finally got rid of you." "I don't think you can," he said. The end. I mean, of the chapter. Thanks for listening. Not the book. Ah! They're together! They're finally together! How long did that take? Hold on. This was... Well, I love that every chapter they tell you what year it is. Okay. That was 2001. And the book, dang, started in 1988. That's how long they've been friends. That's how long the tension has been building. They're finally together. They're together! Okay. I'm happy. Sorry. Alright. Let me see what you guys said. Try, maybe I'll fall asleep. Yes, it's definitely a romance novel, I think. Yeah, this is a movie. The movie has Anne Hathaway, and then they made an amazing show on Netflix. The show is so much better than the movie. If you want to see how it ends before I finish reading it, you can do that. I recommend the show. The show is only like 13 episodes. Like, it's really short, so I recommend it. But I think the actors are just way better, and it's like they took their time. Like, it's not a movie that they had to cram it all into one movie. It's like, you know, drawn out more in a good way. Pretty sure you went to my school. Oh, interesting. Nice to see you again, Sean, I guess. Stranger danger. I know, he was instantly like, what? You just came to Paris and met someone? Western. I can't do words right now that don't make sense in my brain. I'm just gonna call you Weston. Weston? I don't know the other word. I'm not gonna try. It's like new bar, but I'm not even gonna try. I really like your fit, and you're beautiful and gorgeous and cute and stunning and amazing and cool. Wow, thank you. You too. I think she's reading a porno. Y'all, chill. That was really nice. If you've listened to the chapters up until now, and you know the context and the history and how long they've been friends and how long they've been there for each other and everything, all the factors, and he's like, he thought he was finally happy and he met an amazing woman and got married and had a kid with her, and then she turned out cheating on him, so not happy anymore. And then he finally gets to be with his best friend. No, that wasn't a porno. That was just absolutely beautiful. It was just beautiful. No, that was so nice. That was so nice. Welcome to... What? I don't know, this book just got... Hi, Sergio. How are you? I haven't talked to you in so long, by the way. Yeah, so, yeah. No, I just said... So the book started in 1988. The chapter we just read is 2001. So how long is that they've been... What is that, 13 years? They've been friends. And it's like at different times, they each wanted to be with each other, and it never happened. And now they finally sync up. I'm so happy. And I've also seen the show, so I know how wonderful it is. Y'all need to watch it. It's so fucking good. Sorry. I'm amazing. How are you? Story of my life. Yeah, really nice. I don't think it ever gets porny. There's like... Yeah, there was like one part where she sees him naked, but like... It's just so cute, because they both get so embarrassed, and it's just like... it's so like... I don't know, like, it's like... It's so pure. I don't know. Because they're not like that with other people, it's just with each other, because they genuinely like each other that much. But anyway. I'm good. I'm glad you're good. I'm done with the chapter. I'm so sorry you missed it. But go back and listen to it for sure, because it was a good one. That was a good chapter. No, we have... I'm about to see. I really like... Yeah, you said that already. But thanks. Actually, I think that's the best compliment when people say my smile is contagious, because, like, it just makes me happy if I'm making other people smile just because I'm smiling. That's really cool. I just think that's cool. Okay. Alright, we have 16. Whoop. 17. Ooh, I missed one. 18, 19. 20. I missed one. 20. Wow, these are short as fuck chapters. We're gonna have to read a couple in one stream or something. Okay, 21. Okay, so there's 20. Okay, there's more than I thought. There's 23 chapters left. I mean, not left. Whoa. 23 chapters total. And that was 15. So I've got like 7 or 8 more. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Maybe to the loveless ones, but was cute, just tuned in for this one, so didn't know the story. You're fine. But it wasn't that weird. They just kissed. And then I just love that she's like, if you cheat on me or you let me down, I'm gonna murder you, because she knows he's cheated on people before. They just like know each other's history and like everything about each other. I don't know, it just makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. I'm sorry. I really like this book. Okay. I enjoy your energy. That's why I like streaming so much. If I didn't like you guys, I could just record myself, post it as videos, and then never interact with y'all. But that would be lame. And not fun. And lonely. So no, I don't know. I like you guys. Man, these newcomers gotta chill. I know. Sergio knows. He knows what's up. Yeah, dude. I only read good things, okay? The next book we're gonna read is, like, about to be the most wholesome ass thing you've ever heard. I'm so excited. I don't know, but that's the goal. I really want to. I believe you are chill, Weston. It is okay. I still don't know how to say that second word, but it is okay. Don't you worry about it. Y'all really do need to go back and listen to the other chapters, though. But today I went to work, and then I took a nap, and I'm about to take a bath because my joints hurt. Yeah. really good day, I guess. And then tomorrow we're playing golf at work. We're like, each department is supposed to set up their own little golf course, and then everyone is supposed to come to each little course and do it. So we're gonna play golf. And then I'm gonna go to a doctor appointment. I love your stories. My stories or my personal stories? My copy of the book one day. It's on its way. Yay! That's so cool. Okay, wait, you said favorite top 10 TV show and movie? So top 10 movies and top 10 TV shows? Because One Day is definitely top 10. It's like top 3, actually. Okay, wait, I could just, hang on, I'll try. I'm talking about, oh, sure, I mean, that's not really something you can force. Besties, actually, friends in general is kind of like an organic thing. It happens if it happens, and it doesn't happen if it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? But I love that. Hi, Everett. How the hell are you? How are you? Top 10 shows. I can't really put them in order, but I know One Day, Fleabag, Normal People, Santa Clarita Diet is so funny. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Avatar: The Last Airbender, the OG, not the remake. Oh, The Great with Elle Fanning. Hell yeah. I gotta think about that. Hello. Hang on. Getting Friends. It's organic. Yes. Yes, I do. You are fun to be around. Oh, thanks. When people say I got really good friends. Aw, thanks. I like this new show called... Oh, I like James Masterson. Do you mean Paradise? I haven't seen that, but I'm down. I like James. Severance is really good, but I've only seen the first episode. Ted Lasso? That's such a good show. I love Ted Lasso. Oh my gosh. There's another one. I'm missing one. Val Kilmer, Batman Heart. Are you asking, did I hear about Val Kilmer, or did I hear about... What about Val Kilmer and Batman? April Fool's... I didn't do anything. I think I went to work. I didn't do anything. Wait, what day was April Fool's Day? Oh, okay. Never mind. My computer does not have a calendar. Wait, yes it does. Yeah, I just went to work. I subbed. Oh, cool. Thanks, Charlie. Did you hear? Joseph, the Prince of Egypt, died? That's sad. That's really sad. I don't even think of him as Batman. I think of him as Joseph. That's really sad. Did you read? I loved Venom as a kid. Oh my gosh. And there was this one Shazam comic book that I read over and over and over again because the art was so cool. It was the guy that wrote, Jeff Smith wrote Bone, those graphic novels. He wrote this Shazam comic book, and his art is just so unique, and it was just so fun to read. I gotta see, wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, I got you, hang on. Is that Princess Peach? Yeah, I don't know what you've seen recently, but yes, this one my brother painted for me for Christmas, because he knows I love Mario, and I just love her so much. And then I painted that one recently. My other brother did BMO for Christmas. This one's been up, Ramona and Scott from Scott Pilgrim. I did that one. I love that one. And my little sister did that one because he's so cute. The little telephone. And then I did that one too. Yeah. That's the wall right now. I'm trying to add more to it, but yeah. I love my siblings. 85 movies, I kind of believe that, but that's wild. He was quite attractive in Top Gun. I'm not gonna lie. I know, like, Tom Cruise was the heartthrob in that, but I was into Val Kilmer in that movie. I've never been attracted to Tom Cruise, actually. But anyway, I had a walk for my club and met a lot of people. That's nice. That's really nice. Hell yeah. I do look like her. That's not why I love her, but I am her, so. I'm so happy he painted that for me. I was like, my siblings know me. It's so nice. From the Nintendo. Is it? I don't know. Yeah, dude, my brothers are the best. I love my brothers. I have 4 younger brothers, and they're absolutely wonderful. And 2 of them are basically like my big brothers. So, in like the protective way. So that's nice. I always wanted a big brother to protect me. So, the fact that they grew up and like stepped up into that role just makes me really happy. I can't edit for the new Mission Impossible. I can't wait. I think you mean I can't wait. I never got into Mission Impossible. Or The Matrix. Or... For some reason I was obsessed with Bourne in like middle school. But like looking back now, I don't get the hype with all the famous men in Hollywood. They're not that attractive. Not that those movies are all about them being attractive, but like I think when I was in middle school I was like actually obsessed with Matt Damon, but now I'm like, why? He's like the most average looking dude. But I think it also has to do with the fact that I'm more attracted to personality traits than physical traits. So they don't seem like nice people in real life. I don't know them as people, but they just don't seem like it. So I just don't find them attractive. But like, there's a few women in Hollywood that I find attractive because they seem like genuine, wonderful people. So that's kind of how my heart works. You gotta be nice for me to think you're cute. Yeah. Princess Peach looks beautiful. Oh, thank you, Weston. That's nice. Matt Damon. Bourne kicks ass. Yeah. Hang on. The America World Voice. I've never heard of that. He was really good in The Departed. Made me really angry. So, that's how you know it was good. Oh my gosh, that movie made me so angry. I wanted to be like Matt Damon because of the Bourne movies. Yeah. I think I like the Bourne movies more than the Mission Impossible ones because it's not as like... He just didn't seem like big macho man. It wasn't like showing off. He just was like, yep, I know how to do this, so I'm surviving with it. I don't know. Sergio, don't be mean. I fucking love Departed. That movie made me so mad. But that's a good thing. It's good. I love movies that make me feel things really intensely. If it's sad or happy or mad, it means it's a good movie. So I was gonna say, I actually never grew up on SpongeBob. That was one of the shows I wasn't really allowed to watch because I guess it was like kind of brain rotty to my parents, so I totally support that decision. I'm not like resentful that I wasn't allowed to watch it, but as an adult, I just watched the Shrek movies for the first time. The only 1 and 2. I saw the first 2 for the first time. Like, I just haven't gotten around to watching stuff that I wasn't allowed to watch, so haven't seen a lot of SpongeBob. I think it's really funny. It's funny. I don't think I could watch like a lot of it in one sitting, but like a couple episodes, it's funny. Oh my gosh, I love Spy Kids. Wait, hold on. What the hell just happened? Yeah, for real. No, yeah. So I don't really have a favorite episode or a favorite character, but I think, maybe Squidward? I literally don't know. Is godlike? Okay. Yeah, like, I'm just kind of neutral about SpongeBob. I don't hate it or love it. But if my siblings are watching it, I'll sit and watch it with them. Okay, but Spy Kids is so good. Spy Kids has no business being as good as it is. It's not that good. It's just so good. I don't know. Anyway, but like, okay, but they're not very fresh in my mind. Like, okay, the first SpongeBob, the first Spy Kids, I remember. Okay, the second Spy Kids is like ingrained in my brain because that was the only one we owned, so we watched it a lot. And then the third, Spy Kids 3D. I only saw it like once or twice, so I know a lot of the elements that were in it, but I don't really know everything like in order of how it happens in the movie, so I need to see it again. Ice Age is great. I only like the first Ice Age. I tried to rewatch them recently, and like the second is so hard to get through. The third, wait, hold on. Wait, the second isn't terrible. It was just kind of like, hang on. There are 6? Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. We all wanted that arm of gadgets, like what did they call it? It's like, and oh my gosh, I wanted a little, Ralph, the little bug robot that he has, and then fucking Gary Giggles steps on it and squishes him. I just scratched my chin. Yeah, I wanted a Ralph, and what is the arm of gadgets that they have? It's like, it's the latest tech. and this version actually tells time. It's like, where did you get that? It's so funny. Okay, sorry. I forgot what I was gonna say. Spy Kids? We were talking about something else. Oh, Ice Age, I'm trying to remember what the third one even is. I know the first is actually great. The second was like okay, but it like ended really fast. Like it felt like nothing really happened. And then the third, is the third Dawn of the Dinosaurs, or is that the fourth? Because the Dawn of the Dinosaurs one has like a couple really funny scenes. I just like, it wasn't really a rewatch for me. So, but anywho's, Machete. Yes. I love that Machete is in it. His name is it Danny Trejo? Yeah. Pixar, Disney, not so much. The Fox and the Hound. Okay. Okay. Are you my sister? Sergio. Okay. Pixar is everything. Everything after Luca? Meh. But Luca and before, great. We love Pixar. And like old original Pixar, absolutely. Imaginative, original, it's perfect. The execution, the topics they touched on back in the day that they're afraid to touch on now. Anyway, Disney, no. They have very select, a select few really good ones. Lilo and Stitch is absolutely beautiful. Hercules, wonderful. Fox and the Hound, I was going to say, you're my sister, because Fox and the Hound is like her top. And I agree. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. And tragic. Completely tragic. I gotta meet your sister one day. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I feel like she'd like you. No, I don't play sports. Hell no. Ha 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 ha. Million, my favorite Disney. Million? Thursday don't work. Good for movie day, but Wednesday works. Oh, okay. Thursday doesn't. Wednesday actually works really well for me because I work from home the next day. So good to know. Good to know. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Oh, I might not actually. I might have plans. We'll see. But good to know. Thank you. They made the new live action. Yeah, I'm not. Any new Disney is ass. It's pretty much all out the window ass. Like, I'm trying to think of something new that was actually good. My siblings like Captain Underpants. I never really got into it. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say Mulan is on the list of select masterpieces. Like, right off the top of my head is like Fox and the Hound, Robin Hood, Hercules, Lilo and Stitch, Mulan, Brother Bear, Treasure Planet. And we're not counting non-animated because there are some other 90s masterpiece non-animated ones too. But some of the princesses, Beauty and the Beast is absolutely beautiful. I love Cinderella because I resonate with Cinderella a lot, so I like it. And I love the music, and I love that old animation that's like a drawing. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just beautiful. The way my sister explains it is perfect. I just can't explain it. But Treasure Planet. Okay, Titan AE. I don't think that's Disney. It is Don Bluth though. I'm totally trying to watch that. Maybe this week, maybe next week. If you join my Discord, we have private movie nights. And we're doing Titan AE next because I've never heard of Titan AE. It's really hard to enunciate, but I'm really excited to watch it because I want to watch all Don Bluth things. So I can't promise I'll laugh my butt off, but definitely tell me the joke. And you can stop repeating yourself. I'll definitely get to your comment when I can. I promise. Just so you know. It's actually really hard to make me laugh. Oh, he just retracted it. What was the movie with Clay? Oh, Corpse Bride? Titan AE is not DreamWorks. No, Corpse Bride is Tim Burton. And he did kind of like claymation looking. I don't know if it was technically claymation or not. What did Iron Man tell Hulk? That's cute. That's silly. Okay. I almost want to laugh because you said I would laugh my butt off. Okay. Yeah, Tim Burton did some. They look kind of like claymation. I don't know what they are technically. And then I fucking love Aardman. They do the claymation thing with Wallace and Gromit. Chicken Run, Shaun the Sheep, this freaking underrated gem of a movie that no one's heard of. They did another one, yeah. You rock, thanks. I'm like Robin Williams, I can't make a whole room break out laughing. I love Robin Williams. He's so wonderful. But, yeah, Corpse Bride, Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh my gosh, dude, I have that song on my playlist. The part where she's like, pardon my enthusiasm, and he's like, I like your enthusiasm. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about the song that the Corpse Bride plays? What is your favorite actor of all time? That's a really hard one. Oh wait, dead and alive or only alive? Oh, getting me to smile is very easy. Getting me to full-blown laugh is pretty hard. I can think something's funny, but I don't laugh very easily. Like, I'll just go, that's funny. And I actually think it's funny. It sounds like sarcastic or dry, But if I say something's funny, I do think it is. It's like I have to say that's funny, because if I don't say it and I don't laugh, they're gonna be like, okay, what's the other one? Huh? Carol? Girl, in what world your boss invites the team to play golf? No, no. It's like a fun, like, keep the morale at work high kind of, like, they have like a social committee at work to like think of like activities for us to join in to as like a little break from work. Like, it's not actual golf. So this activity is like each department is supposed to create their own golf course in their department. So like it's a tiny little putt like homemade little golf tournament. So it's just for fun. Like, they only want you to take like a 10-minute break to go play golf and then go back to your desk. Like, so it'll just be fun. But the other one, Carol, is creepy. Thought you were okay. That's nice. I got you to keep the yeah. Like, we did like a Valentine's Day event for all the women of the company. What was the last? Oh, we had like a chili cook-off like contest day, and I got to try like 6 chilies, and it was really fun. And then we judge them and vote, and whoever wins gets like a gift card to somewhere. And then I think we did like a gift exchange for Christmas, stuff like that. Hell yeah. Yeah, I think we should get this guy out. Okay. I didn't like him. I don't like to be openly rude to people while they're still in the chat. We have chili cook-off at church. Hell yeah, dude. I used to not like chili, but like this year, y'all are gonna think I'm dumb. This year, I realized beans are actually really good. And before that, I never ate beans on anything. So that happened right before the chili cook-off. So I was so excited to try all these chilies because I know there's a bunch of beans in there. They were really good. Like, I used to eat chili and try to eat around the beans. Isn't that so lame? Yeah. I remember going to those meetings. The chat menu always included to talk about the absent members. Wait. The chat menu always included to talk about the absent members. What are we talking about? What? No, I don't know. I just, if someone's being weird and I don't address it, it means that I don't really feel comfortable, like, telling them they're being weird in front of everyone else. Like, it's, like, embarrassing. It's basically like, okay, I got you. No, but I don't really like to gossip. I just think, like, if I still see, I think in my brain, it's like, if I still see, like, potential that someone is cool, and maybe they just said something kind of weird once, they could still be cool, right? So I don't want to, like, make them uncomfortable or self-conscious, like, in front of all the other viewers, and that'll make them want to stop interacting and all that. But once they say something really weird, then I'm fine with just kicking them out and telling you guys, like, yeah, at first he was making me feel a little bit uneasy, but not that bad. It was just like, he'd just like repeat his questions, and he was trying to be my friend, and that was really pushy. You guys are my friend you guys are my friend despite the fact that you've never asked me to be your friend. You get what I'm saying? So he was doing stuff like that, And then it was the fact that, okay, you can totally be honest and tell me. It is not weird. I know I look young. Okay. You can tell me, I totally thought you were 16 when I came in here at first. Okay. But the fact that, like, his first comment when he came in was about how gorgeous and stunning and beautiful and cute and cool I was. And now he's saying he thought I was 16 while he was saying all those things about me. That's when it's like, alright, well, you don't really need to be here. Right? I don't know. Maybe that's, I don't know. That might be too sensitive in some people's opinions, but that's like another type of uneasy. That's just straight up uncomfortable at that point. So I'm like, yeah, okay. Does that make sense? I hope. I don't know. Because I know I look 16 to some people. I don't know. I think I could pull off 16. I think the way I talk is definitely a little too not sophisticated. Adult to be 16, but whatever. Then I said something. Then I said something, and Sunny also said something. Yeah, I did. I don't know. What you talking about? Yeah. I think, yeah. First coming in, like, first glance at me, you might think I'm underage. But then if you sit in there for a while and listen to me talking, I think it's pretty freaking obvious I'm over 21. So, I don't know. But if you thought I was 16 and you're commenting on how freaking gorgeous I am and shit, and you love my outfit, I think some people think it sounds like a compliment to say I look younger than I am, but to me it's just uncomfortable, depending on the situation. So, weird. Yep, very weird. But I have you guys, so I'm fine. I don't know. I'm not really scared to block people. That's all. If it means I get less views and less likes, less subscribers, I really don't care. I have you guys. Y'all never make me feel weird. And if you did, now that we're friends, I would tell you. I'd be like, hey, you okay? You having a bad week? What made you say that? Because I don't want to just block. At this point, I don't want to block you guys on the spot if I don't have to. I'd want to be like, hey, can we talk about that? Another day. Nah, it's okay. Don't say stalker. That's scary. No, he's just... I think he just wasn't thinking. But even if it was just like he misspoke, it was still like, no. So, but anywho, I'm just glad I have you guys. I don't know. It's really good to have friends as a streamer that you know aren't gonna make you uncomfortable like that. If that makes sense. Obviously. That'd be awful if all my viewers or online friends were like always making me uncomfortable. I used to be like that. When I first started streaming, I used to be really scared to block anyone. And now I'm like, oh, let's block that, let's block that. Now imagine... Yeah, I used to be on a platform where I was getting thousands. And like the comments were like impossible to keep up with. Like it's like constantly scrolling comments. Those streams were exhausting. Because it's 96% creeps and lowlifes and not friends. So you have to like weed through the bad comments, and like it's so many that it's like you can't block all of them. If you did, you'd be sitting there blocking the whole stream. So I just wouldn't block every single one. It would be like the especially bad ones I'd block, but it was just like at that point you gotta get some bouncers up in there, and they gotta block them for you, but like, that was exhausting. And I love that this is like, y'all are talking to me, there are comments to interact with, but it's not so exhausting that I'm trying to keep up with all the comments. I don't know. I might one day get to that level of popular. You know I've never seen Wicked? Alright. Anyway. Ooh! I get wild when I'm drinking. Oh, then don't drink, fool. What? That's really hard to just stop doing. Never mind, sorry. World streamers. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, I think he also, like, right when he came in, he was like, can I be your moderator? But that might have been someone else. And I'm like, no. If you ask to be my moderator, I don't want to make you one. God, too easy to use. Yeah. Yeah, no. A lot of streamers have moderators and bouncers and things, but I just don't have one yet. I'm very selective. I think I only have like one person that I'd be down to make a moderator right now, and I haven't asked them, but there's another streamer. So yeah, that's what I do when I was Jared, hi. I was just about to get off. How are you? Public shame. Yeah. No, I'm fine to moderate my own shit. It's fine. But maybe when I get bigger, I'll feel the need to have a moderator more. But, I was gonna say, I'm getting tired. Oh, whenever I used to stream on both TikTok and YouTube at the same time, I would straight up ignore all the TikTok comments and just focus on my YouTube people. And it was like a way to get people on TikTok to come over to YouTube. But it was just like, when you get big, if it's inevitable. No, I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. I don't really have the motivation. Like, if my laptop ever gets fixed, yeah, I could see it happening. But I also don't really have, like, a time, like, a deadline on that either. Like, I could be big by the time I'm, like, 55, and I'd be happy with that. Like, I don't need to get big in the next 2 years or anything. I'm not really putting any pressure on it. I just know that I'm great. At the risk of sounding conceited, I do know I'm pretty cool. Like, I love talking to you guys. And it's inevitably gonna get more and more. Like, I'm gonna attract more and more great people, I hope. So, wanted to stay. Oh, that's nice. It's nice to see you. But, yeah, I just feel like it'll definitely happen. Because I just want to meet more and more people. But I also, like, am not good at promoting myself, and I'm, with my laptop broken, I don't really have the motivation to be online a lot every week, so I just gotta get that back, but it'll happen. I've only been asked to be a moderator on a gaming channel because there's so much wild stuff in the chat. Yeah, that's the other thing I was gonna say. With TikTok, all the comments are objectifying or disrespectful or just not worth acknowledging in general. So I would just be live but not even interact on TikTok. On YouTube, I love YouTube because it's like, the worst it's gonna get is someone saying I look underage and then calling me sexy or something. But like, I rarely get objectified. I'll get complimented like I'm stunning, but I don't know, it's just like the things that they come up with on TikTok are just disturbing. Like, you really took the time to type that one out and sent it. Like, it's, I don't even want to, like, repeat it. It's very, the imaginations, man. Like, they get real creative with it to get around the censorship type, if there is any censorship to begin with. But, like, TikTok with a fiery passion. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm only on TikTok because I was told I should be on TikTok if I'm going to be a streamer. I don't like it. Before that, I never scrolled through TikTok or anything. So now I'm on it, but I'm never on it. But anyway, I never got the appeal. I like that TikTok, you can, like, post whatever you want. That's cool. I think that's cool. So there's, like, all kinds of stuff on there. There's, like, really wholesome stuff and really creative stuff, and I think that's great. And really beautiful stuff, but I don't like it as a streamer. So, yeah, the shit that people say sometimes, I'm like, oh, I remember the last time I was live on TikTok, someone said, I wish pregnancy. Oh, you're so beautiful, I wish pregnancy on you. And that had me like, what? No, don't. Technology is accessible for anyone. Yep. Oh yeah, it's all these people behind their little screens, or behind their little keyboards. Yeah, I know. All the anonymous. Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's the men. It's the overweight, sweaty men that like to comment on women's appearances on the internet that really get me. That's my favorite thing. Because you can see their comment, and then you go to their profile, and you have the audacity to tell me that I look fat. I'm not body shaming, but you started body shaming first, so it's just wild. It's just wild to me. I'm like, wow, okay. Because you know, it's those types of people that don't have the that same audacity to say it to someone's face in person. They're hiding. They're hiding behind their little insecurities and keyboards, and it's honestly hilarious. So, but no. Oh, I know. No, and I'm not even talking about me. I'm talking about like content that I see of other women posting comments that they've gotten, and I'm like, this woman is gorgeous, and she's gotten those comments. I mean, wow, you know. And then I just love it because they'll make videos where they show the comment and then they put like that person on blast, like they show their profile picture, and it's just like wah, wah. Like, the comment means nothing when you look like that. That's all I'm saying. And also, who are you to tell me what fat is? Like, the way that the internet says women who are 140 pounds are technically overweight is bullshit. I am 150 pounds. I'm not overweight. Okay. And I know it has to do with your height, how big your boobs are, and all of that shit. But, like, you can't generalize all women over 140 are overweight, because that makes other women see that and think, oh shit, I'm overweight, I gotta lose weight. And it's like, no, you really don't. You're actually healthy. And it's just this, like, this standard, I guess it's a society thing, of women that have to stay, like, skinny. And it's like, you really don't. Like, you look healthier, you look happier, you probably feel better. Just stay your weight, dude. You're fine. And also, they are called cowards. That's so true. The internet allows people to say something, otherwise they would never say it. Yep. You forget? Yeah. I was gonna say, women, the way that we deal with hormones in a way different way that men do. Like, y'all's hormones are controlled by testosterone, right? And ours are controlled by estrogen and another thing that I can't remember. But our weight fluctuates. Okay. And when we turn 25, our body literally starts to get ready to have a baby, to be able to have a baby. Our weight is constantly going up and down, and we've been made to feel like, no, if you don't stay at 120, you're not attractive anymore. You're not sexy anymore. And it's just like, that's not true. You are beautiful, regardless what weight you keep going back and forth on. Like, I stayed at 115 for the longest time because I was so anxious of not being attractive. Now, I'm at 150. And another week, I might be down to 140, and I might go back up to 150, and there's nothing wrong with that, because the way, no, I don't mean monthly periods. I mean the fact that we're on a 30-day hormone cycle, and y'all are on a 24-hour hormone cycle. So many things in our bodies are affected by our hormones that affect us way differently than the way that y'all's hormones affect you. Does that make sense? So, like, I'm not saying men should stay at the same weight either. I'm just saying the way that we're affected by ours has so many different, like, our bodies are constantly changing on us, you know? So, and just the big change. Like, we go through our puberty, which is the big change they talk about. There's another big change before menopause at 25, when your body is like, okay, time to have babies. You go through a whole other big change, and nobody tells us about that. I had to learn the hard way. When my body started changing on me, I really thought something was wrong, and my doctor was like, what, you're 24? Yeah, you're about to go through a change, like, you're fine. And I'm like, there's another change? Like, so it's just funny because no amount of research has gone into our bodies behind the standard that we've been given. Like, all of that has gone into the male body, and they've said this is overweight for y'all, but it's not based on the female body, you know, the fact that our bodies are totally different from y'all's, you know, if that makes sense. I'd seen, yeah, only 230 pounds, but don't look it because I'm so tall. Yeah, exactly. Like, another guy might think 230 is fat, but it completely depends on you. There can't be a general standard for everyone when everyone's bodies are different. Yes, men are different than women, but also I am different from my sister. I'm different from my friend Emily. Like, you know what I mean? And, like, I have different health problems that other people don't deal with, and they have different things that I don't deal with, and, like, everyone is totally different. So, like, if I had, like, a thyroid problem, which fluctuates your weight a lot, and you told me I'm fat, that I have no control over because I just got diagnosed with a thyroid problem, you're gonna make me feel like shit for something that I can't control. And that's really shitty. And I'm not talking about you, I just mean the world. Like, women are made to feel, and I'm sure men are too, made to feel like you have to fit this certain standard that's like, no, you don't. Because you're you. You're different. Everyone is different. So, there are so many different factors for every different body that you have to consider. You know what I mean? So, like, you really be like that, though. You really do. Hell yeah, that's fucking awesome, dude. Good for you, man. Go you. No, yeah, it really do be like that. I kind of just, like, really recently came to all this, so I'm really passionate about it. Sorry. I'm not really sorry, but I very recently came to this because I've had body dysmorphia for a long time. When I was like 90 pounds, I thought I was fat. 90 pounds as an 18-year-old. I thought I was fat. So I just have a lot of empathy for people that struggle with their image and their weight and things like that. And it's just like, I'm gonna start crying. It's just like, we can't generalize it that much. That's crazy. And it's really hurtful. I don't know. But yeah, no, not just our monthly periods. Going back to that, y'all are on a 24-hour hormone cycle and we're on a 30-day hormone cycle. And both of our cycles, we each go through different phases. So y'all go through the 4 phases that we go through. But since yours is only 24 hours long, you don't feel those phases as strongly, because the next day it genuinely feels like, scientifically, like it's a whole new day for you, which is great. I love that for you. For women, it's 30 days, so our cycles are week longs, if that makes sense. So like my luteal phase is a week long, so I feel that phase for a week. My period is a week long. That's the phase where my testosterone is at its strongest, if you didn't know that. So when you guys, not you guys, when people try to tell us that we're being dramatic or overreactive on our periods, we're actually acting the most like men than we ever act in the month. It's just funny to me, but y'all are a little dramatic too. But we're also bleeding out at the same time, so we kind of have an excuse, but whatever. Yeah, I'm trying to spread awareness about this. Like, people don't really understand. So I'm saying we have 4 phases. Y'all's aren't felt very strongly because it's in 24 hours. Ours are each a week long, so our 4 phases, it almost feels, it doesn't feel as dramatic as it sounds, but it feels like you're a different person every week for the month. So it's really good to keep track of what phase you're currently on. Right now I'm in like my happy phase, which is why I'm so talkative and I just want to stay on stream and talk with you guys. But I lost it. No, it's good to keep track of what phase you're on. And it's really good as a man, if you're going to date a woman, to keep track too with her of what phase she's on. And that way you don't have to ask her, are you on your period? Is that why? You know, because that's just going to make her mad. You already know. If you track it with her, you already know, okay, she doesn't have like an excuse for acting this way, but there is a reason behind why she might be acting that way. You know, if it doesn't feel like she's acting herself or she's mad at you for no reason, that kind of thing, it's like, okay, I know what phase she's on, and that kind of makes sense. If she was in like her, I forgot what it's called, follicular, I think, phase, where she's supposed to be really happy and motivated and productive, and she's not that way, that's when you should be like, okay, I need to ask her what's wrong. But if you're tracking it with her and you know, alright, she's just in that week where she's pissed at everything, I'm not personally pissing her off, it's like everything's pissing her off. It's just good for you to know as the boyfriend or partner or whatever. I'm trying to tell my brothers this. I just think it would be beneficial if you're dating for the right reasons, to like be a part of a team with someone and like work together as a team. I just think it's good advice. But yeah. Rant over. 74-year-old great grandma was having stomach problems, went to the doctor, it turned out she was pregnant. Ooh, just like a real life Sarah situation. Sarah? Rachel. Sarah. Real people need to know this stuff too. They do. Yeah, I'm trying to bring more awareness about it, because I've only just recently learned about all this. So I wish I had known this growing up. So I'm teaching my siblings about it and future boyfriend, I don't know. I got schooled on how luteal phase a while back and learned a lot about why some shit happened. Yep. The luteal phase is a bitch. Women are really scary sometimes. Not really. One day I realized how uncomfortable women were with their appearance when my friend opened a barbershop and its windows could reflect like a mirror. Many women stood looking at the mirror for a while. Damn. That makes me kind of sad. In conclusion, I don't say anything good. Dude, yeah, because even like the act of, I don't want to say all compliments are bad or anything, but like, if you catch me on like a bad day where I'm not feeling good about myself, it could either be like, oh my gosh, I got a compliment and make my day, or it could make me, like, more self-conscious of how I look, you know? Like, I had a coworker who's an absolute darling of a man, such a friend, but he said something, I forgot what he said. It was something about, like, every day my outfits are always on point or something, and for some reason, like, that day, it made me really uncomfortable, but normally it wouldn't. I would totally take that genuinely and, like, be really happy to hear it, but that day I was like, okay. I don't know why, but I don't know, like, even super attractive people have really bad days, for their own reasons. Like, it's like, you see them as the way they look, but they see all these things that nobody else notices, you know? Yeah, I suppose so. I think his kindness was wasted on me that day, but Mark, I love you too. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the luteal phase is the worst. I don't think women are scary though. I think men or people seek, and I'm not saying all men, by the way, at all, but a lot of men, for a long time, have said that we're intimidating and scary and hard to understand and too complicated and too much to deal with, and just all these things that I've been told personally by men. So I know that they think this way, but some don't. I've met some that don't. But the ones that do, we're not that crazy. Yeah, our bodies are insane, but all bodies are pretty insane. I think God, and I'm gonna get a little God talky right here. I just think that the fact that God designed us the way that He did, like, every little thing about our bodies has a purpose, and it's all very systematic, and it's all supposed to work together, and it's very complex, but that's what makes us so beautiful as humans. And animals are also complex with their bodies, but I don't know, it's just because we also have emotions, and we have, like, this need for human interaction and like relationships and connection and things like that. We're so complex as people, men and women. And just the fact that women deal with hormones differently than men do doesn't mean we're any more or less complicated than men are. I think we're just different, and that scares them, right? Just something different from you scares. And, you know, that's literally the basis of racism, but, like, and sexism and whatever, but, like, it's just, we're different. And I think if we actually took the time to learn what makes us different and understand, you know, what that person has to go through, if we actually tried to care and take the time to learn, I think it'd be great. I don't think it would feel as scary. I think it'd feel more like we're on the same team and we're trying to help each other and things like that. Like, it's not my fault that I bleed every month, right? It's not my fault that my hormones make me want to, I don't want to say kill someone. My hormones make me want to, like, scream and hit a wall, and I don't know, like, it's just not my fault. And it's not y'all's fault that your testosterone makes you super angry and things like that. But, like, if we can try and understand our own bodies and then try and understand others, I think the world would be a whole lot better. But, you know, so bit by bit, I'm trying to spread awareness. We're not that scary. I think if you care enough to take the time to learn about us, you know, you could ask a woman how that feels for her, things like that. I think it'd be a lot less scary. But our body is puzzle of panting. We all have one blood color. That's very true. That's very true. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. I've had times where I think that women are complex beings, but I don't like to overanalyze it. Yeah, I think humans are. I think we're all very complex. So, yeah, but women look different from men, and our bodies are different, and our bodies work differently, and yeah, we work a lot more on emotion than men do, but we also work very logically at the same time. So I think men like to take one thing about us and explode it and ignore the other things about us. I work very logically, but depending on what it is, I also work very emotionally. So I feel like men do that too. So I don't think it's a woman thing. I think it's a person thing, for sure. Half the time. Don't say that. No, for real. We're actually really nice. As long as you're not like disrespectful about it. I've never been rude to a guy that like approached me and tried to talk to me. Like I've always been super nice, because why I'm sorry, why take the energy, why use the energy to like be unnecessarily rude to someone? That feels weird. I don't get that. And I know that's not every woman that thinks that way. I know there's a lot of rude women out there, but like, because I'm kind, I've met a lot of really kind people, you know? But I don't know. I think everyone's different. Like, I have a little brother, who is almost 18, and I want to tell you, that boy is the most mature, emotionally intelligent, empathetic ass little guy. He's not little. I'm saying little because he's really not little. He's like 6 foot something. But like, he's wonderful, and I'm so proud of him. I have so much respect for him, because I've never heard a rude, a disrespectful word out of his mouth addressed to me before. Like, and when it comes to women, I didn't have to educate him on why we don't feel safe. Like, I've had to educate so many other men. He understands right off the bat. He explained it to me, and I'm like, yeah, you got it. Exactly. Like, the fact that he understands how him just being a man can affect any woman that he comes in contact with, regardless of how he approaches her or carries himself or anything like that. He understands that all it takes is just being a man to scare us. And that's crazy. I know that's an awful reality, but it is a reality. And the fact that he's 18, not even 18 yet, and understands that is like highly emotionally intelligent. I just think he's so wonderful. So I don't think it's all men. I think a lot of men are wonderful. And I think a lot of women are terrible. So yeah. I just think if we can all try to be more empathetic. I think, was it Elon Musk that said empathy is like the weakness of humanity or some shit? Like the downfall of humanity? No. Empathy is like the strongest strength I can think of. It's like the most beneficial trait you can have as a person, in my opinion. If everyone was empathetic, oh my gosh. It'd be a whole different world. But I think when I find someone who is, I don't want to lose them. You know? But I'm trying to teach more people how to do that. Like, I have another brother who isn't naturally empathetic, and he told me that he wants to learn how to be, because he thinks it would like make him better as a person or something. And I was like, hell yeah. It's hard if it doesn't come to you naturally, but if you want to actually like try to do that, I don't know, and that way over time it will come to you naturally, that's amazing. I want everyone to feel that way. But youngest of 4 brothers, so I don't know what it's like to have a sister. Oh. Well, have one of those women see now. What? Have one of those women see now. Hate men, want them to die, so that's why it's hard for a man. I don't want anyone to die. Except for the rapists. I'm so sorry. That's the one thing. That's the one. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to judge. We're not supposed to judge. But that's like the highest form of evil to me. So, yeah. No. They want women, they want men to die. Yeah, I don't know about that. There are really good men out there. But I think it's like, if you're one of those men, thank you. If you're one of those men, and my brother didn't say this. I think I told my brother this. If you are listening and you're thinking, yeah, I'm one of those, I'm empathetic and I care about women and I want everyone to love each other and treat each other better and all this stuff, it's your responsibility, just like it's mine, but especially as a man, to hold your other male friends accountable. You know, surround yourself with other men that you know also feel the same way about women that you do, if that makes sense. And people feel the same way about people as you do, with the empathy thing and the caring about treating each other well. And I think it's your responsibility to, like, when you hear other men talking disrespectfully about women or other people, you should be checking them on that and making sure they know that's wrong and things like that. Like, we have a brother who was not conducting himself in a respectful way at all, and I checked him on it. I talked to him multiple times. My brother talked to him once. My other sister talked to him once. Like, we made sure, we were like, you need to change. You're amazing. You're hilarious. I can tell you care. You know, all these things, but this one thing that you do, you need to change. Because if you don't, for my own mental health, I can't be around you. And I don't want to feel that way toward my brother. That's sad. So, and it's amazing because I'm able to talk to him about that. There are some people where you can't even talk to them. You just have to, for your own sake, kind of remove yourself from them. With him, I didn't want it to get to a point where I had to do that. So I was like, hey, we need to talk. And the fact that he's open to hearing me and not getting defensive and understanding where I'm coming from and wanting to make a change so that I'm no longer uncomfortable around him is amazing. That's what makes him a great brother. And he made the change, and now I respect him a lot more, and I'm actually proud he's my brother and things like that. So I just think, yeah, it's not like we're in a lot of power. We're not in like big, high positions of power in the world, but I think with the little power that we do have, we should be holding each other accountable. And we can start to slowly change one person at a time. I mean, change the world one person at a time. But anyway. Good. That's good. That means they're good brothers. And if people can't see that, like, I had to tell him, gotta treat people the right way. Otherwise, yeah. Well, otherwise I just don't want to be around you. But yeah. I had to tell him, ooh, I forgot. Hold on. For some reason they think they can live without men. Oh, we can live without men. And y'all can live without us. You just won't have kids. But, no, I'm just kidding. You can adopt. You can adopt. There's so many kids to adopt. Oh my gosh. But no, we can live without each other. But I think that we have, like, these differences that could actually help each other be stronger. Like, obviously y'all can do things that I can't do as a woman. And I can do things as a woman that you can't do as a man. So, like, instead of seeing, I'm better than you, no, I'm better than you, I can live without you, I can live without you, it's like, if we live together and work together and, like, encourage each other's strengths, we can get stronger. Instead of, like, I don't know, comparing each other with each other. That's not productive at all. But Because there are things that I have to offer that you don't, and vice versa. So, yeah, I could live without you, but I think it'd be way more fun if I found someone that I work really well with and we can help each other be better. I don't know. But no, I told my brother I told him I told him that I'm sorry. I forgot. I told him that I'm a really anxious person. Especially when it comes to confrontation. So I'm not going to confront you unless I really, really think I need to. And that alone should tell you that if I am ever coming to you about something serious, it means that I really think I need to talk to you about it. And that means instead of getting defensive instantly, you could think, okay, she really doesn't want to do this, so she must love me so much that she, is putting herself out of her comfort zone to talk to me about this, if that makes sense. Like, if I didn't care so much, I just wouldn't talk to you anymore, right? And if you don't feel the need to change, that's fine. We just don't need to be friends. But as my brother or as a really good friend, if I really care about you, it's coming from a place of love. If I come to you and tell you this thing about you really bothers me, I think you need to change. That's coming from a place of love, not a place of selfish comparing me with you. You don't need to get defensive, things like that. I don't know. So I told my brother that, and he took it, and he's like, "Thanks for telling me. I don't want my behavior to crush you every time you're around me. I don't want to make you uncomfortable or upset and things like that, because it is so hard for me to confront, especially in the moment. If you've already made me upset, I gotta come back another day and talk to you about it. I will not be able to talk about it. I get so choked up out of anger or sadness, I can't talk. It's really hard. So I told him that, just how hard it is for me to do that, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna try to be better, which is amazing. I just think that's amazing. But 2 gears, yes, exactly. All the little cogs mashed together. That's a quote. Anyway, yes, I agree. But it's just I think when women say, why is it hard to have that conversation? I don't know, man. I can say it to you guys, but when it's actually to the person, it's I get so choked up. Whew. And then they ask you defensive questions, and it's now I'm flustered. I'm just trying to tell you this one thing, and now you're coming at me with other things that have nothing to do with the one thing. But no, I think that the women that are saying we could live without men, I think they're talking about the rapist, sexist, misogynistic, racist, violent, angry men. Not all men. If we can find a man, and it's rare, they exist, but it is rare. If we can find a man that isn't those things and actually appreciates and respects and loves women and sees that we have more to offer than just our bodies and respects our autonomy and all of that, if you can find one, then it's worth being with a man, right? But if it's so hard to find one like that, I think a lot of women have just given up on finding a man like that, because basically the bottom line is that I would rather stay alone for the rest of my life. I can function by myself. It's actually way less exhausting by myself. It would be better to be alone forever than to be with a man like that. I think that's what they're saying. That's what I think. That's what I say when I say, that's why I'm not dating right now. By choice. Because I've never met a man up to my standard of what I just said. And my standard, in my opinion, is bare minimum. Be respectful. appreciate me, show me actual love. It's actually really easy. But, oh, you know, like, be considerate to my feelings, things like that. It's really not that hard, but whatever. It's just really rare. So it's just like, I'd rather be alone if it means I don't have to deal with that. And any of the men that I've already dealt with, I'd rather be alone. You know? So, based on my former dating experience, if all my future dating experience is going to be the same, I don't want to date again. I don't want to get married. I will foster children by myself, and I'll love it. If it means I don't have to also have another man of a child of a man in my life to take care of. Because at that point, I mean, dude, all the boyfriends I've had, it felt like I was taking care of them. We should be taking care of each other. Whoa. And I'm, like, disabled. Like, I have health problems. I should not only be taking care of you. That's... I'm gonna get angry. Let's keep it 100. Women need man. It's just the truth. I just said that. You can function alone, but if the world got crazy and had to survive, you would need men to survive. You don't agree? If the world got crazy, I'd rather just die. I don't really want to survive. I don't think I would. Like, personally, yeah. Specifically me, yeah, I would need, maybe not a man, but I'd need someone stronger than me to survive. Because I'm not very strong physically. I think my intellect would be an asset, but no, I could not survive by myself. But I could survive with just me and my sister. We could survive. Because she's strong, you know? I don't think I need a man to survive. But it would be really cool if I had one I could trust like that. I'm Mike Hawk. Nice to meet you, Mike. If mothers gave their sons the kind of talk you're giving us, imagine how much better things would be. That's why I can't wait to be a mom. It's going to be married, got cheated on 4 times. Oh, I've been cheated on so many times. The amount of times I've been... Ooh, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. Mike Hawk. Def want to protect my peace and be alone. I date the same type for sure, but being alone ain't it. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it would... So, for an edit, I was gonna say basic ass car like a Toyota. Oh, Jesus loves you too. Yeah, no. I agree. I think back to what I said before. I think people are people. I think we need human interaction, human connection. I think we need love and affection. Without it, yeah, we're lonely little husks of people, and it's sad. But as a woman, I'd rather be alone than deal with a guy that doesn't respect me or acts like a child, and then I feel like his mother. I'd rather just be alone. But I'd so rather get, like, my ideal is to end up married with kids and being a mom, and that would be so nice. Anyway, that'd be so nice. I just, like, it's so scary, because what if you have kids with the wrong guy? And he turns out to be a really terrible husband and dad, you know? Because a lot of men, they say, I can't wait to have a wife and kids, but they don't realize you're signing up to be a husband and a father. Not just to have a wife and kids. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense in my brain. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How do they act? They don't clean up after themselves. They don't take care of themselves, and they get, yeah, oh my gosh, immature. Oh yeah, they don't eat well. They, it's just kind of like, okay, so this sounds really silly, but like, as an example, okay, because I've lived with a few people. In a relationship, we want to be a team, right? You help me keep the house clean. When I come home, I want you to, like, be excited to see me. I don't think that's a lot to ask for if you actually love me and want to be with me for the rest of your life. I want to come home and actually get a hug and tell me how your day went, babe, type shit, right? No, this is you're coming home and they're already playing video games. And they don't even have the energy to look up at you, let alone hug you. Never getting flowers. I don't even care about flowers. I just care about you thought of me. You could just write me a handwritten note, which is free, by the way, and takes 0 energy. Hi, Michael, how are you? You could do that, and that would make me just as happy as if you got me flowers or took me on a date. But they think that we want them to spend all this money on us. I just want to get your attention and affection. And instead I come home to you playing video games, the kitchen is a mess, your clothes are all over the floor for me to pick up. It just turns into more of a mother role where I'm cleaning up after you, I'm checking up on you, making sure you ate that day. That should be something that you should also be asking me, like, or actually we eat together. Like, oh my gosh. The last one, we never ate dinner together because he always ate at 10 p.m. and I refuse to eat at 10 p.m. That's crazy. So, yeah, that was sad. It was just like a refusal to, like, compromise. I don't know. So childish, yeah, immature, not emotionally available, not considerate of my feelings, never asking me how I am. I have to clean up after you every single day. That's crazy. I don't know about that. At least, like, clean with me. The fact that they would be home watching me clean on a daily basis, by the way, and not stand up and join in and help clean up their mess with me, at the very least, or offer to clean for me. No, they just, like, nothing bothered them. They just stayed playing their video game while I'm literally, like, cleaning around them. Because, yeah, of course, I could sit down and relax and clean later, but if you love me, care about me, and know me, you know I can't relax until the house is clean. So either you get up and help me clean, or I'm going to spend all my free time that I could relax cleaning, and now I have no time. You know, because they complained that we never played video games together. And I complained too. I wanted to play video games together. That sounds so fun. But I can't do it if the house is a mess. And it really doesn't take long to clean it up if I have help. So, or if you're dude, it would take way less time to clean if you weren't constantly making messes behind me. You are one of a kind. The times I gave. Yes. No, genuinely, I felt like a clown. Great cleaner in my apartment. Yeah, like mine's spotless too because I clean up my messes as I make them. I don't make 5 messes, let it accumulate, and then spend a whole day cleaning. That's crazy. And that's what they would do. But I'd be the one spending all day cleaning. And I felt like a clown. And like I remember this one boyfriend back in like 2019, I was like, I feel like your mother more than your girlfriend. And we broke up. I was like, I don't want that. I want you to take care of me. That was the year I found out I got the diagnosis for my condition. And I was like, you know what? But then, of course, you know, I still dated a couple other guys that did the same shit to me, but it's fine. But anyway, had to work on it. Okay, good. Yeah, and you're right, Sergio. I want to spread more awareness about this, and I want to raise my own sons with these talks to genuinely try and change the world one person at a time. If the next generation is raised being talked to like this about these things, it might make a better world. I don't know, but we'll see. And if you guys, I don't know, I feel like I'm ranting, but if you guys actually listened and cared to what I said, that's really cool. I'm glad. One dude at a time. But women also need to understand I don't know, we need to not use our periods as excuses to abuse men or act like bitches or things like that. I mean, we have a good reason, but it's not an excuse kind of thing. No, no, no. I'm explaining why I'm not dating right now. If I ever find a dude that's like, oh, you have, dude, oh my gosh. No, I was gonna say all it would take. It would take a lot more. But if I met a guy who had like a single conversation with me, like a really shallow level conversation with me, and decided, this woman has so much to offer, I can tell. Like, I just want to have more conversations and find out more that's in her head. And, like, everything she says just is great and makes sense and things like that. Like, that would be so much more attractive. Oh my gosh, that would be so nice. Like, I would literally, a date where we just go walking and talking, I'd eat that up so much more than flowers and chocolate and dinner and a movie and all the money. You don't have to spend a cent on me. We could just go for a walk for 2 hours and talk. I'd love that. That's my addiction. I love just talking. And guys that are able to talk about anything other than sex. That's so attractive because it's so rare. And I know that's like literally the bare minimum. The standard is quite, no, I think my standard's quite high now, but it's not that high. I think I'm being very reasonable for what I'm asking. I don't even want like a rich dude. I just want you to treat me like a human being that like deserves respect. I don't know, but you're grateful for this convo? That makes me so happy. Hell yeah. I'm gonna walk. That's nice. Yeah. Yeah, dude, that'd be fun. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna say for every woman that'd be fun. I'd do it. Except I'd suck at it. But it'd be fun. Hell yeah, dude. If we just had a date where we just, like, drank wine and painted paintings together. And just talked. Or, like, listened to music. That'd be so fun. That sounds way more fun. Or, like, playing video games together. I don't know. I just can't wait. I can't wait till God puts that person in my life that I actually deserve to be with. Because I just have all these things that I want to do with someone again. No, not again. I'm never done. I want to do all these things that I've never done. And I've had, like, let me think, like 7? 1, 2, 3, 4. 7. I've had 7 boyfriends. And there's so many things I still have never done with a boyfriend that I've wanted to do. Because they never cared to ask. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Anyway, yeah. Or I even told them. I told the last boyfriend because I just was like, I was fucking done. I was like, alright, these are what I want to do with you. We'll do them when you actually take the time to do them with me. We never did them. The last guy I was with, he's actually an angel on earth as a person. He's amazing. I love him as a friend, for sure. But as a boyfriend, I was so direct, straightforward with him. I was not hinty. No hinting. I was like, this is what I want. We should do this. Blah, blah, blah. Never did any of it. Yeah. So I don't really have any pity. I mean, I feel bad because I really loved him, but it was just like, I've told you what I want and we never go do things. And most of what I want is free. So he was just like, I think he was very stuck in like a routine, which I can respect. I'm a routine driven person, but it's like, I also really like doing new things that I've never done. So, and it's like, you're my favorite person. So I'd want to do all these things with you. And I just want to be with someone who feels the same way back. You know? Like, I want to try new things, and you're the person I want to do those things with. So, I'll date again when I find someone like that. Or not find, when God puts someone like that in my life for me to meet. Then I'll know it's time to date again. But right now we are not. So, I also need to do a lot of healing. I've been abused quite a bit. You find a perfect guy. Thank you. I hope you find a perfect. I'm not gonna assume a perfect person. I would say it only once, but you are. Oh. Not my parents. It's just me. But thanks. They taught me that God loves me. But they also kind of taught me inadvertently that love